Okay, in this scenario, we're going to fly a VOR approach with a procedure turn and fly to an alternate airport. So the instructions are, we're going to go Fond du Lac to Oshkosh Airport. We're going to fly the VOR 27 approach into Oshkosh using the Osh transition. And then after that, we'll fly the mist, enter the published hold, and then we're going to proceed on scenario 4 into Appleton for an ILS. This scenario is covered on page 170 of Flying with the Avidyne IFD by Michael F. Bauer. Okay, bring up my simulator here. First thing I want to do is, this is the previous one, I'm going to go to the route, and I'm going to clear the current route. All right, hit delete anywhere in there. Now I've got a clean slate, and I'm going to set up at Fond du Lac again. So I'm going to push in on my FMS button, push in again for origin, and it's at ATW, so let's touch anywhere in here and get a QWERTY keyboard and type in KF, and it geofill should give me Fond du Lac. It does. I approve that. Notice I'm going to Kosh, so I'm going to go to KOsh, so I'm going to do another waypoint, so I'm going to push enter. And then instead of Osh, I want to touch that and type K-O, and it nominates Oshkosh. There it is. And then we'll put in Appleton, because we can put in multiple destinations. So we're going to fly an approach to Oshkosh, but then we're going to fly Appleton as our alternate. I'm going to go ahead and preload Appleton in case we can't land at Oshkosh, right? That's the example here. But you could actually do that in real life. Put in your expected destination, but also preload your alternate, which we're going to do here. I'm going to push enter, and waypoint, and touch there. Give me KA, and it should give me Appleton. There it is, because of geofill. Thank you. Hit enter. So now I've got all 3 airports loaded. I'm going to activate the flight plan.
500.
This thing will get to flying here. Make sure my simulator, yep, that's good. That's good, okay. All right, so this is going to go ahead and start flying. In the meantime, I'm going to load the approach, which is VOR 27. So there's 2 ways to load the approach. In a previous example, I showed you could hit proc. And then in this case, we want to scroll down, so I'd use the knob until I get down here to VOR 27. Oops, sorry, 27 right there. And then hit enter. So that's one way to do it. I want to show you the other way here. You can just hit enter and approve that. The other way, I'm going to clear. You notice it's highlighted. It says approach right here. So let's go ahead and touch that. And I can get to that menu as well. Again, I can scroll down. And now I hit enter. And it asks, do you want vectors or Oshkosh? It says the Osh transition, so let's select that. Enter. All right, so as we're cruising along here, you can see that we have a gap in route as we're going. So what we want to do is clear that gap in route. It's not a big deal. It's just that we told it to fly to the Osh as the initial approach fix, but it wasn't in our flight plan. So there's a couple ways to do it. I can clear the gap by just closing it. I can activate Osh as my waypoint. So I'm going to highlight it. I can just go fly direct to Osh. Enter that. So now we're going to fly direct to Osh. That activates the VOR 27 approach. It's now armed, because it knows that's part of the VOR 27, which it says so right here. And now we're flying inbound for that. Notice VLOC is armed. We're still in terminal mode. If I go over here and look on my map and my SynViz, I select that 3D view. It gives you a good visual. Notice we're going to come inbound to Osh. We're going to fly outbound to course reversal. Fly in. Here we come. There it is. If we go over to the chart, map, chart, let's load this chart, select chart, and we'll paste in Oshkosh, because right now it's still Fond du Lac, which was our departure. And we're doing the VOR-27. I can see it. I can either scroll down or just reach up and touch that. And look, you can see there's our approach. So we're going to fly outbound off of that VOR. And it's automatically tuned 11.8, which is the Oshkosh VOR. We'll fly outbound, do the course reversal, and then fly inbound. And then here's our mist over here. There it is. Pinch zoom in a little bit. I watch it on the FMS page with my... Notice the next waypoint here. It's telling me next leg, not 091. And it's going to turn outbound. I'm going to fly out over the lake and do a course reversal. We're doing the procedure turn as we speak, at or above 2600. We watch this on the SynViz here. You can see us heading out over the lake. If I come over here and look at my first person synthetic vision, we'd come and make it around here. You see all the windmills off in the distance, all those towers. If you've ever flown that, you know what I'm talking about. There you go. It says check nav identifier. Because it tuned 111.8, this is the sim. We don't have an actual nav radio. You would actually decode the Morse code and give you all your VOR information here. You notice we flew it, we turned inbound, and it captured the VOR approach. Normally it would switch to VLOC right here because we're in approach mode. Since the simulator does not have a VHF radio built in, it can't tune and receive the radio, which is why it can't decode here and it can't show a VLOC here. So in the real VOR approach, of course, we'd be centered. This would say VLOC, so that's the big difference. And of course, it would have decoded the Morse code for you. So now we're just flying inbound. If I bring the side tab here, you can see the speed up the simulator. Let's get it going here.
500.
So we're coming inbound. Let's go back to the FMS. Now what we're going to do is fly the mist here. Here we go. We're heading out to Great, which is our mist approach point. Now off we go. All right, so now we're just going to fly out there and hold and decide what we're going to do. In this case, we're going to fly to the alternate, which is Appleton. So we'll set up for that, and that's the next scenario. But that was the VOR-27 approach into Oshkosh with the mist. Here's we're entering the hold. Again, it gives us a cue that we're entering a teardrop entry. Go back over here. You can see it from this angle.